I got all my stuff, man. Guys, namaste. Happy Monday, meatballs. Namaste. God bless all of you. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I did. I worked. But doing the work thing is what I love to do. A lot of people don't see it that way. I get it. You know, some people, I love to work. And my work, I mean, with America's Mentor and obviously with my passion at work, it's such fulfilling. It's so fulfilling to me. But tonight is just part two of what Kurt and I were talking about the other night on Thursday about expectancy. Kurt's show, the show that him and I do, basically are a synopsis of what I normally do, as I'm going to do tonight with America's Mentor, because I love doing the work with Kurt. But America's Mentor, I get into every detail about it, because to me, the knowledge is power. And if you know the details on why I'm explaining what I'm explaining and how to help you better your life with the details and information behind it, there you go. It's a great thing. It's a great tool for your mental toolbox. But I'm going to get right to the National Day of today. This is going to be a happy day for a lot of people. It's National Milk Chocolate Day. So for all you milk chocolate lovers, myself included, enjoy yourself today. But it's also National Soccer Day. So when you're through eating that shit, you can go run 10 friggin' miles and you can burn off the calories with that. But if you guys do a search for expectancy quotes, just a little, for shits and giggles kind of thing, you go under Google expectancy quotes, like I did doing some research for tonight's show, because I said, wait, everybody says, oh, what goes up must come down. Yeah, from a physical sense, yeah, indeed, I get that. But why does our lives have to have these fits and starts up and down? In other words, we're going through different phases of energy. The whole point of expectancy is to always expect good in your life and to show the brain how to reprogram itself to do that every day. You in turn won't have no more fits and starts in your life. You're going to be on this beautiful wavelength of energy in life and not have all these ups and downs. That's the point. I mean, people have always scared us throughout the millennia on how better enjoy the ride. It's not going to last forever. Am I the only one that said, wait, what are you talking about, meatball? But I didn't understand how I can keep that train rolling. And how you keep the train rolling, M on the brain, my neuroscientist has explained it perfectly. This is why I love coming on, because I give it to you from a spiritual sense, and she gives it from a factual, scientific sense, to realize if you learn how to enable your energy to be on a constant wavelength of what you expect in life, you will never be disappointed. But if you do a Google search on expectancy, these are all famous. I'm not going to do your own search, man. These are all famous people, mind you. They're saying don't have expectations on this and that and love and why? To me, I think they got their words mixed up. That's called attachment. There's a big difference between attachment and expectancy because of the fact. Sorry, I got distracted there. It all varies in the person, is my point I'm trying to get at. But I'm going to get right to the quote box tonight, because out of all them quotes that I found on Google about expectancy, one stood out. Brian Tracy. Now, the quote box tonight: positive expectations are the mark of a superior personality. What's superior? If you look up in the Oxford Dictionary, which is from England, mind you, it says condescending and supercilious, meaning you're too much of yourself, you're loathing and your loveliness. What is Oxford, England, monarchy? Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. But anyway, in Webster, superior, the synonyms are brave, divine, and heavenly. You get into that kind of mindset, as Brian Tracy said, of the brave one, in divine energy, living to your highest power. You're not going to have any more ups and downs in your life. You're going to have this beautiful wavelength of life every day, expecting good because you spiritually think that way. And from a physical sense, M on the brain explains it perfectly. I'm gonna show you guys in a minute. But the next word is personality. From that superior, that brave, divine, heavenly, you develop a personality trait, the quality and or state of being. I'm not here to give you hope, guys. I'm here to give you insight. If you will understand what kind of personality you carry, your identity, which is actually one of the synonyms of that, character and or nature, you go from unnatural to a natural state of being the personality and the superior personality you've always wanted to be. This information was not out there. It's amazing how Scripture has told us. I mean, 9:23, I got all the friggin', Scripture's telling us to expect good. It's God's will for us to live in the kingdom of heaven. What's the heaven? Our mind, our thought process. And if you guys realize that, you're really, I'm not going to be called a blasphemous here. I'm not going to go crazy here, meatball. But believe what you will. That's the point of America's Mentor, is to believe what you will. I show two sides of this paradox that we've been fighting for friggin' decades on how just by living in that heavenly state of mind, not, the rose-colored glasses that we got yelled at for living at when we were young kids, that imaginary state of being, you're going to realize how good your life is going to get. Because you're going to start bringing good to you. There's no more hustle and grind and chasing anymore. It's you being the best you and watching all the good come back to you. But first, the law of expectancy. Your thoughts and expectations heavily influence your reality. Duh. I'm kidding here. I'm laughing at myself. What you expect, you get. Indeed. So why not expect your next relationship to be the best? Most importantly, attracting the best partner. Why not expect your finances to go up with that great feeling how money, because everything is energy. You pass the energy on to the next phase of your life. If you think money is good, the good part of money is going to come to you. If you think that another person coming into your life is going to benefit your life, you don't have to get attached to that kind of person. You get attached to the love aspect of it. Therefore, you start attracting the love aspects from it. Your thoughts and expectations heavily influence your life, based and fueled on your beliefs and your convictions. That's the problem. Beliefs and convictions, that's like the anchor of your foundation. Faith is a belief. Expectancy is as well. And I'm going to show you guys something out of Scripture here, because it makes sense. I love this stuff. It goes 9:23. Listen to this. But and we've all heard this. By faith, all things are possible, indeed. But 9:23 succinctly says, "If you can believe, all things are possible to him who believes." Now, if you change the verbiage on that from believe to expect, you come up with the same kind of foundation on what they're talking about. If you can believe, all things are possible to him who believes. What are things? What are they talking about in Scripture? Things, objects, articles, items, divine, device, stuff, worldly goods. We're talking about your goals, man. You got to believe in this stuff. You got to believe that you're able and capable. Most importantly, expect all the good in your life. And when you grasp that, you'll realize what M on the brain was talking about, because your brain is just waiting for you to tell it what to do. Your mind is saying, "Look, meatball, tell me what you want, and I'll open either the subconscious part or the frontal lobe part of your brain to put you where you want to go. The creative sense or the, how should we say, the hurt locker sense. You have this choice in your life every day." M on the brain is awesome. I love her friggin' reels, because from the doctoral standpoint of neuroscience, she gets to the point on how the brain actually manufactures what you're thinking about. In essence, what they're saying in Scripture, we now have it on the physical plane. So you have both sides of the coin here, guys. This is the beauty of it. She says, it's scientifically true that if to expect something to happen, get my light back on here, I'll say it again. It is scientifically true that to expect something to happen, it becomes more likely that it will. The brain is a prediction machine. Coming from a neuroscientist now, she's explaining the very matter that's creating matter. She's showing us how energy is starting in the power plant and how it's emitting every day. The brain is a prediction machine. It is constantly guessing and predicting what's going to happen next, hence by what you're feeling, what you're sending out every day, based upon past experiences and beliefs. So I always say who you are is what you bring indeed. Who you're emitting every day, the kind of energy, your brain is going to start getting programmed to that. It's going to start looking for that. It's going to start putting its objective on trying to find exactly who you are and matching it. That's the beauty of the law of attraction in action. She goes on to say, the brain will filter reality to confirm that expectation. It's called the placebo effect. And you know what I mean? When you get in the placebo effect, it's like a false narrative that you're telling yourself. I mean, do you realize how many surgeries they've done on patients, not fixing the problem, just creating the scar, and the patient naturally became better? This is how life is. You have to constantly tell yourself what you want to bring, expect it, believe you're a superior, heavenly, whole-bodied individual, and you're going to watch how your brain's going to direct you to create it in your life. Instead of going into your subconscious mind, you want to stay out of there. That's kind of like the hurt locker, man. That's the electronic switching station of the brain you really don't want to get involved in. From my perspective, I love the wisdom. I'm always going back there because I learned from my mistakes. Some people dwell on their mistakes. She goes on to say, the brain is just sending signals to the body to feel what you're expecting. That's called the placebo effect. The nocebo effect is the negative side of the equation. If amplified, the negative will all the symptoms associated with that explanation. In other words, what you tell it, you're going to get. So if you keep living with that shit mind every day, and I got to get a better writing tool, man. I can't read my writing. If you're living with that shit mindset every day, and I'm being harsh here because people got to stop blaming their life for what it is and start realizing they created their life for what it is. You start realizing what you're doing, you'll start realize where you're going. And she finalizes her statement on from that reel. She goes, if you can train your brain, listen to what she said, if you can train your brain to expect the best and nothing less, your body will start to reflect that. Reflect what? The energy. So there should be no more ups and downs. There should be no more fits and starts in life. There should be the best expectations coming out of your mouth every single day. Every word out of your mouth. I mean, that's power. I mean, that's what Brian Tracy's talking about. Positive expectations are the mark of a superior personality. You've become that person you've always wanted to be. Scripture has told us, scientists is now showing that. You couldn't have found this stuff 20 years ago. And you start reading quotes in the Oxford dictionary, calling us like a pompous, supercilious, esoteric language that you would it'll make your head spin. The point being is, be yourself, the best you. Expect the best in life. Realize who you are. And there's nothing wrong with wanting all that you want in life. But you have to create this amazing picture of it. Start feeling it. Telling your brain, giving it the old placebo effect so it can create the chemicals, hence the feelings involved, emitting that energy out to the universe, and watch what starts coming back to you. That's why the hustle and grind mentality is kind of going by the wayside. People are working hard indeed, but inspired action is the key. You're doing what you love to do, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's why I love doing what I do. I'll work 100 hours a week doing what I love to do because I'm not really working. I'm doing what I love to do. And it's something for you guys to realize for yourself, to stop struggling, because struggling, you're telling the universe you don't have something. And it's like Pavlov's dog and the carrot. It's just going to keep pulling it away from you because you're not believing in your abilities to create the possibilities in life. What you expect is what you get. We were all trained not to expect the best, really. I mean, seriously, the very few out there that have been trained to do that, I can understand where they are now. But to me, my whole point of tonight's show is to stop the ups and downs in our life and to train your mind every single day to only expect the best out of life. You know, if you want the love of your life, you know what? Send out the greatest love that you can and watch what the universe brings you. You'd be freaking surprised. If you want abundance, send out the most amazing abundant energy every day, all day long, as much as you can. That's why it's so important to guard your peace. It's so important because transformation is not just, you know, one little part, two little parts. It's you embodying the person you always want to be. Very few people can do that. I get it. Certain, you know, issues and circumstances in life where they are now. I get it. This, that, can. What goes on here, nobody knows about. And your life is a direct reflection of what's going on in here. You can always tell how your outside world is by thinking how your inside world is. And that was a hard lesson for me to realize, because spending years blaming life for my troubles, until one day I saw the reflection, like, wait, if I change the reflection, if I turn that frown upside down, well, life is going to start changing for me in a lot of ways. You start changing your mentality, you're going to start changing your reality. You're going to start creating possibilities in your life just by changing how you're thinking every day, because you're creating this placebo effect of something that's not even happened yet. And watch it start to culminate with synchronicities and all these things in life to bring it to pass. When you have that kind of belief system, that's what Brian Tracy is talking about. Positive expectations are the mark of a superior personality. It's up to you to make that choice. You know, you want to live in the ups and downs of life, that's fine. You want to be the stock market, you know, knock yourself out. Or you can have this expectation every day like I do, and still practicing, mind you. You got to keep doing this, man. You got to keep practicing and training your mind, training your brain every day to create new neural pathways. And that's basically all you're doing from a physical state right there. You're creating new, how should we say, extension cords per se, from one to the other on how you're thinking. And they're all interconnecting now. You do that in a positive way, you get all new ones. You're going to have more neural pathways on a positive note, creating positive energy in the chemicals in your body that need to make it happen. You keep doing that every day, and your life is going to start changing for the better every day. You keep believing, living by faith, hence and or expectancy in your life on what you desire. Watch how it culminates. Watch how it comes together. But you have to believe in the process. You have to believe in yourself. You have to understand exactly what you want in life and live by that. Embody it. Amplify it every friggin' day. However you do it. Meditate, you know, initiate, whatever you want to do. Embody that person you've always wanted to become. Watch how life starts showing you the synchronicities to match that. It's going to give you, because life is just a reflection of what you see, not from the outside, but from the inside. You change how the inside's working, you change how the outside's working. You change who you are, and you change what you bring. So happy Monday to you guys. I hope this helped. The law of expectancy, my goodness, your thoughts and expectations heavily influence your life. I'm stopping by Best Buy tomorrow and get me a copy machine. I can't even read my writing anymore. Guys, join me, American Mentor _radio on Instagram, at America's Mentor on X. Yeah, porn and politics. I'm going to get off X, man. But YouTube, much love to you. Do you realize with Facebook now for years, I mean, I'm hitting almost 900 Facebook Lives. I mean, I love doing this. I hope you guys find exactly what you love to do, because it's not work anymore. You're doing what you love. No matter, it doesn't matter the outcome. You keep showing that best self with passion and love in whatever you're doing. Life is going to reward you for that, because you're emitting a good energy. You're emitting that person you've always wanted to be. So join me on YouTube. Hashtag America's Mentor on YouTube. Hashtag America's Jerry Maldonado on YouTube as well. Enjoy your Monday, guys. I'm heading over to Best Buy. I'll talk to you guys soon, man.